Southbound, Local 1, Train 2, Van Cortlandt Park, 242nd Street. Approaching the station, please stand away from the platform edge.
This is 125th Street and Broadway. Transfer is available to the M125 bus. This is a Bronx-bound 1 local train. The next stop is 137th Street and Broadway, City College. Step in, stand clear of the closing door.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Dave Thornton, the True Black Man of True Black Man Productions. If you see part of this video up until this point, you know exactly what I'm doing. And I always say I save the best for last. But listen, you already know that I'm doing a documentary called Growing Up Harlem in General Grant Housing. And who I have with me this afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, is I refer to her as the First Lady of Harlem, but more specifically, I like to refer to her as the First Lady of General Grant Housing. I say that not because of her popularity, but because of the fact that our parents were the first generation to move into General Grant houses in 1956.
1956.
Was it a record? Was it 50? We were born in 56.
Right, but I was 6 months when she moved.
Fantastic. I stand to be corrected. But listen, I have her, she's granted me this interview. I'm going to just let her say a few words, say hello, tell everybody who she is, which she don't have to tell everybody who she is because everybody knows. Z King, Z.T. Thornton, a.k.a. Z.T. King. How you doing?
Great, I'm blessed. I woke up another morning like David said, we all the original tenants in that body. Matter of fact, 3170 where we grew up was the first building that we did.
I didn't know that.
That was the first building my father picked. And got up to the park, then woke up on 70.
Get out of here. 3170 Broadway.
3170 Broadway, the official country. Yes. See, another person I know.
See?
Right.
We can't go nowhere. Go ahead, girl. Ha ha.
But you know what? That's it that you know so many people. And I don't take it negatively because I don't mess with negative people.
There you go.
So I'm all for the people, greeting them because that's all we're supposed to do. God wants to serve, and that's what I do. That's why I know so many people, because I serve.
Listen, I got the right one, and I chose her. I saved the best for last because she has a wide parameter. I've interviewed a lot of people in General Grant Housing, and I've been throughout Harlem to do this documentary. But Z10 has a strong history of the parameter is very wide. What we're going to do, ladies and gentlemen, I just wanted to say a few words. What we're going to do, I'm going to take a break. We're going to come back, and then we're going to walk 125th Street. We're on location right now in Harlem, and we're just going to talk about some of the sites that used to be here when we were growing up in Harlem in Grant houses. This is Dave Thornton, the True Black Man. We'll be right back.
So here we are walking around a historical Grant Project. Right across the street, you see Antioch Baptist Church. That was a supermarket. A lot of you don't know about it, but we used to have the books where they had the little, they would give you, whenever you purchase something, they give you stamps. And our mothers had the book of stamps, and that's how they were able to get different material for their kitchen, mixers, pans. We don't do that no more, but that was in the 50s and the 60s. Enjoyed that.
S&W, right? S&W Greens. That's
yeah,
right.
green stamps. We talking history. Right here, we ready to pass. When we grew up, we had housing police, Officer Greer and Officer Brown. Right here, behind 550, is where they used to arrest all of the bad boys and put them in prison right here. Put them right here in prison. Now they've consolidated New York City housing with public housing, and that's why you lost a lot of the community where the cops would be able to go to your mother's house and take you to her door. And look, this is what your kid did. They didn't arrest him. They didn't hit him over the head. But that's long been gone. But this is where a lot of people were put into cells right here in the project.
I didn't know that.
Yes, yes. This was our police holding station. I used to see Officer Greer running behind Beanie. You remember Beanie?
I do.
Beanie would rob people and run through the back of 3150. Officer Brown come hauling behind him. Him and Officer Greer were the community cops. This is what's lost now. There's no community to here. But growing up in Grant, I wouldn't trade that for nothing in the world. Nothing in the world. You hear me? This is 550. We're going to pass the building that myself and the editor here grew up in 3170. 3170 was the first building that they filled. 1956. I was 6 years old. This development was built in 1956. So we were the first in that apartment. My mother was in there over 50 years when God took her away from this earth. First and only tenant in 5I. That's what we grew up in, 5I. I grew up with 7 brothers. Only girl. And David came and hung out in our house. Like, we didn't have enough kids there. My mother fed the damn building.
That's right. I was on the 7th floor, 7H.
Exactly. You was on the floor with Adley.
That's right. In the
Pumpkin,
beginning.
Bernay.
That's right.
And the Rain family. Jeanette, Carolyn,
could have
Debbie.
been. I don't remember them, but I do remember
They were all
Paul and
neighbors.
Gladdens. The Gladdens. Elsie,
the Gladdens,
Paul.
yes,
That's
yes,
right.
they was in 7A.
That's right.
They was in 7A. But I mean, all of you were at the other end of the hall.
Exactly.
Nosy ass Miss Gordon. She was right by the stairs.
You better stop. Ha ha.
She used to get up on the and lean out the window. Bernie! We come from Riverside Church. We grew up in Riverside Church. This was a community that we had activities, Stone Gym, Riverside Church. These are places that we were able to go and keep ourselves active versus keeping up mess in the street like these kids now. They've taken away all of the activities from them, and it's sad. But that's where a lot of us grew up. David, right there, Riverside Church.
That's right. Stone Gym next door.
But I'm saying you played ball with Riverside Hawks.
That's right. That's right.
With
Starting
the
at the age of 12.
12?
1968, 1960. When I moved from this side of Grad over to the other side, I was 11, and B.O. and Peanut and a lot of other guys took me over to Church of the Masters.
Oh, okay. I remember Church of the Masters. I remember
I was
that.
no good. I was no good at basketball. A year later, when I developed the game of basketball at 12, I was at 13, 15, and I went straight to Riverside Church.
Oh, well, who did you develop the game with if you were no good at 11?
Alan Perry, by myself in the park.
Okay.
That's
okay,
right.
Okay.
And I don't want to digress too much, but the fact of the matter is, as we look across the street, what were some of the places over there? You remember?
Right here, well, that Pentecostal church, I don't remember what that was. But as we get closer to the corner, it was John's Bargain. John's Bargain, where we bought a lot of stuff. My mother would buy me the cheapest sneakers. Again, let me digress for a minute. I grew up in the house with 7 brothers.
That's right.
The only girl, the 5I, 3 bedrooms. So you can imagine bunk beds, head to toe, hide the beds. This is what we did.
I know.
Okay?
I know.
But John's Bargain was our view. That was our view from the back, because we were the back of the building.
That's right.
All these stores we ready to pass by now, we could see all of those stores, the roof of them. We saw when they had the big fires. Remember when they had those fires?
Yeah.
Oh my God, we saw it. We saw the Chinese restaurant. We saw them washing the rice. When I tell you they washed that rice until that water's clear. They washed that rice because the back door was open and they sit there and they handled all the food.
Yes.
Many years we ate in that restaurant. That and Lang Farm.
And Lang
up
Farm.
on 145th.
Well, that was your favorite later on with that egg foo young, wasn't it? That's right.
Like you know something.
Hey, I better know.
Shrimp, egg foo young, that was my thing. But back then we can go to a restaurant and we felt special because we were served. We were served. We didn't go in these fast food places that they got now. We sat down and somebody came to us and took our order. we were served. Tell me that's not special.
Well, I
As a
do remember,
teenager.
I have a lot of memories, and at this age, some of it is age related. I can't remember a lot of things, but I do remember
Well, me
that,
too.
that Chinese restaurant
You
on
know why in
Broadway.
my mind, that's because we smoked that chunky black on
Hey, come
23rd
on.
Street. Don't bring that up. Oh,
Wally. Hey, that's evidence.
So this was always a supermarket. It's just changed names. Always a supermarket. All
Finest.
It was Finest. All of these stores going down here were just all commercial stores. We had Miles Shoe Store. We had Twin Donuts.
Twin Donut on the corner.
They don't even have Twin Donuts no more.
The record shop.
Yes, yes.
I remember.
In the liquor store, they always had a liquor store. You know we had to keep a
Right
liquor
next
store.
door, the liquor store. I remember I bought my first cassette tape from the record store.
No way.
Marvin Gaye, What's Going On? That's right. I ain't know shit about music.
Did that man have an insight?
Hey, let me tell you.
Baby, don't even talk about his records. But all of this here, all these clothes hanging outside and stuff, we didn't do that. You went in the store, and Woolworth was here. Woolworth
Where
was
you could
right
go
here.
and sit down and eat.
And eat
The
at
dine-
the
the
counter.
dine- that's
Yes.
right.
But we used to go in there and steal the pants, put them in our notebook.
Okay.
When we came from 43, we just
Yeah.
put them in a notebook and just walk out the store.
I got the right one, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, but you know, we walking down and we go
But
out,
it
we
was
talk about.
memories, and it was amazing because, you know, you can't get that again. These kids now don't have memories like this that are not detrimental to their well-being.
That's right.
All these memories we have were a part of our grooming. They were a part of us growing up. We had a childhood I wouldn't trade for nothing in the world. It was bars on every corner. It was the West End bar over there across the street. I wasn't even 18, and God bless the dead. Margaret Sands and
Yes.
Iola taught me and Arlene how to hang out in the bar.
Let me, before, just to interject, just to ask you a question. I used to always hear about a bar called the Saloon. Was that it?
Not the
I
Saloon.
know it was the Silver Rail.
That was on Amsterdam.
Okay.
That was on Amsterdam.
And
It was a neighborhood bar.
the Midway,
I never heard of the Midway.
Amsterdam, across from 1305.
Oh, see, that's the other side.
And those are the old timers,
And
though.
let me tell you about that. That's the other side. That was very important.
See,
We have two sides to Grand Projects, if you don't know. The side that we're on right now, 3170, 3150, 550, 5575. Those buildings are on that side. We literally used to stand on one side of the corner and throw bottles across the street at each other. Talking about, oh, you live on the other side, but we
Days
own
gone
one.
Days
We own
gone
one.
by.
We Grand Projects. There's the liquor store.
That's right.
Miles Department, Miles Shoe Store was right here. I got a lot of shoes from there.
before, well, this was actually, it was a pizza shop here also.
Right
that everybody
there.
went to
Over
Maria's.
there.
That's
Over
right.
there. Maria's was up the block, but it was pizza, and they had them little burgers that didn't cost much. It was a store right here. They had the French fries in the plastic
That's right.
bag. Them joints were
Well,
so
you
good.
the plastic bag. I'm going back to the days when he put the French fries in the brown bag and the oil
Shook
coming
'em
through
up.
and shook them up. Mr. Eddie's. Hey,
Yes.
but while we're standing right here, ladies and gentlemen, this is
Go
Old
out.
Broadway,
And this was our junior high school.
2043. But up the block, ladies and gentlemen, we have Manhattanville
Manhattanville
Projects.
where
which-
we met people when we went to junior high is when you met people from Manhattan.
Exactly.
When we grew up on the other side, again, the other side of our projects was the elementary school 125.
25.
You knew that's where you were going. There wasn't no district, and they weren't about if you can go there like it is now. You automatically went to 125. When you went to junior high, you automatically went to 43, which is across the street this way. That's when you met people from Manhattanville because the project is right there on the same land as the junior high.
Exactly.
When you left for high school is when you met people from all over the place.
It was
So-
beautiful growing up in General Grand houses. Well, you know what, ladies and gentlemen, I keep saying General Grand houses because I'm trying to be appropriate, but it's the goddamn, it was Grand Projects.
Grand Projects.
The projects.
General Grant is up there and supposed to be in the damn casket. He never was in that casket up there at Riverside
Ain't
Drive.
that something?
Please.
How
They
you know?
reopened that, you know.
What?
They reopened it. It's a museum again.
I didn't know that.
Yes, they
I didn't know
reopened
that.
it. Yes, and they got the nerve to have the casket. I know damn well his body ain't in that casket.
Ain't that something?
It never was.
I got the right one, ladies and
Never
gentlemen.
was in there. But
Yeah.
yeah, they reopened it. I found out when I did my high school reunion.
Okay.
People went in there to check it out. But all of this here, you can show them it, David. All of this here was stores. It was stores. We got the bus when we was growing up. It was the 15. Right here.
Going to the Bronx.
Going to the Bronx.
That's
Still
right.
Go up 3rd Avenue.
Willis
Still
Avenue.
go.
That's right.
It was the 15. Now it's the M125. Then it was the 29. But it was the 15, and we paid 15 cents for the bus. Them little tokens. Remember the real little ones?
I do.
15 cents.
I do. I live there. I don't ride the subway today. I ain't been on.
$2.90 now.
And right
man.
here, as she indicated, behind us was the pizza shop,
Yes.
the record store,
Yes.
the liquor shop.
Yeah, all of that.
Later on, Kentucky Kennedy Chicken.
Kennedy chicken. Wait a minute. They just left. The chicken store that was right here. They just left. Oh my God.
It wasn't Kennedy?
No, it wasn't Kennedy. I forgot the name of them. Damn, I feel bad. But they had the best chicken and the best dipped Briar's ice cream. Oh my God. But they just tagged last year because they didn't pay their COVID bills.
Okay.
You know, you got pardoned for COVID bills.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, they thought they would get pardoned all the way, but they wanted their money, so they just closed their store.
Wasn't it a Blimpies over here too?
Hell yeah, it was Blimpies.
Yeah.
I don't do Subway.
Yeah.
Blimpies was the best sandwich store in the world. And then we had Twin Donut right here.
Right on the corner.
And remember, we had a bowling alley across the street.
Okay.
We had a bowling alley over there.
Okay.
Remember that, David?
I don't, but I remember the McDonald's.
There
But
was another supermarket,
Date Shopwell.
and it was a bowling alley.
And Date Shopwell, it could have been there, I don't remember, but Date Shopwell was where I did my hustle. Carrying packages,
That's
packing
another
groceries.
thing. These kids were able to pack bags in the grocery store and sometimes even go home with the person and carry their bags home. They can't do that shit now. You can't trust them.
Saturday was my great day.
You made
I
a
would
lot
get
of money?
a dollar. The other days you get 50 cents or whatever.
Yeah, bro, you wrong for that.
I made about $11, $12 one
was rich.
Saturday.
You was rich.
I went over there. They had an automotive store in the corner of
Right
with
there,
the
Motor
duck-
Boy, that's where Sporty bought his bike, 5-speed.
and I bought me a pair of skates without telling my mother because I used to give her the money. She made me take the skates back.
No, she didn't.
I never
No,
forget.
she
Daisy said,
didn't.
"What you need?" And she,
But you need some damn stuff.
that's right. Now let me tell you another story. Me and Mikey Simmons.
Oh my God.
Remember the fruit stand across the street, Mr. Louis?
Yes.
We worked for him. Mikey got
You
paid
did.
just
you did.
putting out the fruits and the vegetables,
Oh.
picking and cleaning up something.
Oh.
Mikey got paid. He wanted to pay me in fruit and vegetables.
No, he didn't.
I did it for 3 days. I went back to Dave Shotwell. I went.
You want money? You want no damn fucking fruit. You want money. But
You know-
that right here was Twin Donut. I think it's one Twin Donut in the Bronx.
Still left.
No more. They was way better than Dunkin' Donuts, cost less, everything. Now, you remember Claremont Chemist, we have a drugstore that has been there since we were little.
Claremont Cat is still there. On
still
Teeman
there.
Place, right. Right off of Teeman. Right.
These escalators, the escalator, it used to be wooden.
I know.
Remember? My cousin's leg got caught in it. He sat down and when it met, it tore his whole back of his leg off. Sitting on this is what we're dealing with now. That's what we're dealing with. But these escalators right here, renovated. People have jumped from up on the train station. One guy that went to school with me, but God ain't take him out of here. They got a broke hip. He's walking like this now.
You know, ladies and gentlemen, this train station, the #1 train, IRT,
Right.
was an extension of our playground. And this is where I'm going to stop. I'm going to get to the train station when we walk in front of it, but we got to talk about Mike's.
Oh, Mike's. Oh, man.
And the laundromat.
Here. The man's name was Mike, but this was the community store. This man would make an account for your mother if she didn't have it. He had to write the black book, like the composition book.
That's right.
And write their name and how much they owed him, and they would pay him. He was a Jew. But every store that came here after him, we still called it Mike's. I don't care what came here, it was called Mike.
That's right.
Right? And right here was a Chinese restaurant.
That's the one we went to Friday nights when my father would bring the money home.
Get out.
And Daisy would let us treat ourselves. We come down here, and I never forget it. We got pepper steak every goddamn
Good,
Friday.
and their food was good.
It was.
Their food was good. And now we coming up on Bum's Isle. Remember Bum's Isle?
I do, but I want to. I do. But I went right here was the Chinese restaurant in
That's
this
right.
location. what it is now,
Right.
Columbia University Employment Information Center. But also,
Everything is Columbia around here now.
I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about the laundromat and
Right.
Cameron.
And
Miss-
Tina worked in there for 5 years.
That's right. That's right.
The laundry was here, and Mike's was next door.
That's right.
And the Chinese store was right here. All for years, as my mother would say, for rolling years.
You
Now,
re-
our window was right up here.
I know. Right
up
here
here.
in the back, the #1 train. A lot of stories.
Oh,
A
yeah.
lot of stuff. I have a great one, and I
It's
said
on the escalator.
my friends must have been crazy. The escalator. We used
It
to
was
slide
wooden
down.
when we grew
It
up,
was
though.
wooden, and one time it wasn't even no escalator. We used to come down the steps.
That's right.
But I think I was going to the Brandeis. When I was at Brandeis, I went to the prom.
Oh, I never went to a
And we was sitting, me, your brother Sporty might have been there. All of us, me, Mike Dickey, Joe, Caesar, everybody. So we get the bottle, they drink it.
That's right.
Screwdriver,
Damn right.
or whatever it was.
We
These
drank all
idiots, these idiots.
What
We had, the tokens was only about maybe what?
15 cents.
Oh, so, this is 1974.
Okay.
They
went up to
decide-
25 cents.
They decide that instead of pay the fare,
They're going to jump the...
no, they're gonna climb up these girders.
No way.
They're gonna climb up these
Yes,
girders.
people did that. People did that. I
Not,
remember.
not PIE.
I ain't mad at you, but that made no sense.
That's
How
right.
did they even get from the bottom part?
Well, you know what? I think on the
Scale
middle,
that.
however they did it, they climbed up, crossed over.
They came up them stairs right there.
Exactly.
Came up and came onto the platform.
That's right.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna take you back, and we don't have to elaborate on East Broadway.
Wow. I don't even remember. I forgot about people climbing and shit.
That's right.
Now this here
That's right.
was the alleyway to all of the stores, to the deliveries. This is where they delivered their stuff to them.
And ladies and gentlemen, just to take you back,
Baby.
and Zetine,
I
And
feel
Zit-
tired.
hey big man, everything's quiet. Right here, I have to stop and I have to go into it. It's Gregory Martin. It's your 21st birthday party.
Oh yes.
He
We
decided,
passed from the idea. That
No.
was at 501. That's where the party was.
I know.
Yes.
but what he was on and what he was
Angel
sniffing,
dust.
white dust. They found it in the back here where the pharmacy has threw it
I
away.
didn't know that.
This is where he found it, him and Bio. They found it here,
Get out.
and because it was a pharmacy that they threw it out.
But like I said, it was the back to all of the stores.
That's
back
right.
here.
That's
The
right. And he
entrance.
found it, and he distributed it throughout the neighborhood. And if you didn't know what you was doing, they thought it was cocaine,
Yeah.
and they was sniffing it like coke.
Exactly,
If you
exactly.
took 2 hits of that, you was off to the races.
Because he was yelling outside of my party when we came out. He was standing there yelling.
That's right.
Then the next morning we found out that he was in the river dead.
And he jumped off
He
the George
walked
Washington
right-
Bridge.
He walked right across here.
That's right.
But remember, when we grew up, people would drive their cars because there was no barricades or anything, drive and go straight into the river at 125th Street.
There you go.
Straight into the river. Now it's built up as a nice, beautiful pier. Columbia didn't build it for us, but we use it. But people even went and turned on the exhaust and sat there in the car and died from the fumes. I know one girl from 550 that did that.
Yes.
But that was many, many years ago. Show over there. That used
Well,
to be
let's
our
start
cleaner.
down there. They shot well. We had the
Right.
candy store. We used to get your
Claremont Chemist is
lifesavers
still there. Claremont Chemist. That's them on the corner.
right on the corner.
They've
Claremont
been there
Kings.
forever.
That's
And
right.
then that was
The cleaners.
the cleaners.
That's right.
Starbucks.
And then you go up and I have a picture. I think I got it. I think you sent it, or you put it online of Maria and Tony.
Yes, yes. And the liquor store been there forever. Now Maria and Tony was the best Italian pizza makers. When we came home from Riverside Church, Friday night activities, everybody, you stopped right there, you bought a slice of pizza and an Italian icing.
That's right.
They go together.
That's right.
They go together.
How much was a slice? I couldn't afford it. 35 cents or so.
You know
get
what
the
you
sauce.
did, wrong.
You sit the.
Y'all had more money than us.
I didn't have no money.
Your family did. You had two parents in the house.
Well, I guess it was, but I remember the days I couldn't go to Coney Island for Easter. I couldn't go to the movies. I do a documentary on Tomford's and the Sunset and the
No,
West End.
poor thing.
I never went to none of that. Danny Minguez, me and Danny took us to the West End. I didn't know nothing about the rats running around your feet. You had to put the dope fiends in there.
Damn right.
And I never forget the 2 movies we saw. Hang 'em High, Clint Eastwood, and House of the Seven Gables.
Get this shit.
I didn't have no money for the extras.
Well, you remember back then you could sit in the movies all day.
That's
They
right.
didn't put you out after
That's right.
your show, and by the time it was over, you was reciting the lines of the damn movie.
Just to hang
Because I
out.
watched Ben in there.
Get out of here.
I watched Ben with all them rats.
Well, that's appropriate.
I watched Ben and Willard. Willard was
That's
my
right.
shit.
Where in the West Sunset?
In the Lowe's.
In the Lobes, okay.
In Lowe's, I
All right.
watched Willard.
And we see it now.
I don't remember going in the West End. I don't remember ever going there. I went in there when it was a bar, when it was converted to a bar. That's when I went.
Well, actually, what's the Enoch lived over there?
I know, but I didn't know.
All right.
I didn't know that.
And he's in that picture. The one with me, you, Ronnie Jameson, Sporty, Landy was a
I
baby.
gotta see the picture.
That little picture your mother gave me before she passed away.
Enoch, though, is his name?
Marvin Henderson.
Oh, see, I didn't call him Enoch.
We called him Enoch.
Marvin, I just talked to his mother the other day. I keep in touch with
She's
her.
still with us.
She's in Maryland.
Little something.
Lil G, my mother
That's
calls her.
right.
I keep in touch with her.
Okay.
That's my girl.
That's
Gloria's
right.
doing fine. Oh, I didn't know that's what you called Marvin.
Everybody called him Enoch.
Not me.
Well, I called him Marvin because I knew him as Marvin.
Yeah, he
Later
was like
on.
our family because him and my mother went to junior high together.
Got it.
I got the picture in my house with mommy and her in junior high school.
Okay.
So Gloria was her friend, and when she said, when I pass, make sure you contact Little G. And we couldn't because the number mommy had in her phone book wasn't right. So we couldn't cut mommy's phone off until we heard from Gloria to let her know mommy passed. She mailed my mother a letter with $600 in it. You know, whenever I get something, I'm gonna share with you. And then I was able to write her back.
Well, I know she was a sweet lady, but I do remember
man, still
they
sweet.
lived though. I didn't.
They was in St. Nick, but see, they lived on the 3rd floor in here.
Right.
Right.
But for a
Larry
brief
was-
minute,
Yes. They
for
was
a
on
brief
the 3rd
minute, they
floor.
lived by that Western movie theater.
Yes. Yes.
When-
They
and
was
then
in
they-
St. Nick.
Right.
But they have family in these different places. That's pretty
You know.
much what it was.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going down, Dave. We're going down this journey of days gone by, reflecting on things that we did, growing up in Harlem, specifically in grand houses, and where we're going to lead it to right now. We're coming up to 3170. I want to get a backdrop of you and point out, because the sign. This is the building that I was born and raised in. I moved out of here at the age of 11, moved to the other side, and the rest was history. All right? I see it. Riverside
Where
Drive,
we hung out Friday nights.
Broadway.
Broadway. That's right, the train. And we lived on the 5th floor, right across from the platform. Directly across from the platform. That's where we were at. You want to walk to the building?
Well, I just want you to stand in front of it, and we'll go from there. Showing love in general grand houses. I tell you, boy. That's right.
3170. Wouldn't give it up for nothing in the world. I had a childhood here. We used to come in here and the caterpillars would be hanging from the trees, remember?
I
You
do.
went upstairs, they was on your back.
I
they
do.
was on your bags.
I do.
Oh, yes, every year caterpillars infestation.
And before we cut it off, I know your thing was the worms. You couldn't deal with them.
Because the ground is flooded and the worms come out. They were the big blood suckers. And I'm scared of worms. And they filled the pavement here. And I would step over them. My mother said, "You dumbass, just walk, keep your head up." I'm like, if I step on it, it might wrap around my foot. She said, "You stupid bitch." You know, she called me a bitch. But I was afraid of worms. I mean, I have a story why, but I'm not going to get into it.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, right now we reached this destination where we're going to take a break. We've gone down memory lane. We've talked about Mike's. We talked about Maria's. We talked about the pizza shop, the record shop, the bars. And Zettina, like I said, has a wide parameter. And then we're going to sit down on the bench. We're going to chop it up for about 30 minutes because she always got somewhere to go. Always got somewhere to go. So we ain't going to take up too much of their time. But listen, I appreciate the fact that you took the time to do this.
Yes.
And I had to include you into it. And actually, I didn't tell you guys, she came all the way up from down south. I ain't going to say from where. But she in town.
Tomorrow.
That's right. So we're going to get on our way, take a little time, but we're going to sit down, we're going to take a break, and we're going to take it from there. This is Dave Thornton, the true black man of True Black Man Production. And always remember, the true black man loves you. Peace. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Dave Thornton, the True Black Man of True Black Man Productions. Of course, I'm back in Harlem again, and I just ran into I guess we could say an associate who actually grew up in General Grant houses, which is about what this documentary is about. By now, you know that I'm doing a documentary called Growing Up Harlem, but I'm specifically focusing on people that grew up in General Grant houses. Joyce Brown, how you doing, my dear?
I'm doing just fine.
And you know, I'm up here at 135th Street between 5th and Lennox for a kids basketball thing, and basically, she stopped and she said, "You grew up in Grant?" And I said, "Yeah, I know your face. Talk about growing up in Grant projects."
Well, growing up in Grant, we had a ball. I was born in the 50s, 1959. First, I grew up in 430 from 1959 to 1972. Then I moved to 3150. And from 3150, I left like in 1986. So, yeah, it was a blast growing up in Harlem, growing up in Grant, having a ball with my friends. And my best friend was Sheila Jackson.
Sheila Jackson. 430.
Yeah, 430.
That's right.
Yes. We lived on 13. The Jacksons lived on 12. But we had a great time in Grant. Like, we played Ringley Coco.
Oh.
We played Kick the Can.
Oh.
We just had a ball, you know, and we climbed the rock. We went over to Morningside, had our cookouts. We had a lot of cookouts in Riverside Park. So, yeah, Grant was just everything, you know.
And you know I can't make this stuff up, and this is what I want. This is the energy I need. Joyce, thank you very much. But listen,
You're welcome.
listen, I'm not finished with you yet.
All
but the
right.
fact of the matter is that she mentioned Sheila Jackson, which is the sister of Jackie Jackson, correct?
Yes.
And Willie Hutch, Mike. And I didn't know her mother real well, but I do have a picture of her so I can put it in the documentary. Talk about, you talk about Morningside and the cookouts. They used to call it Witch's Castle or something like that.
Yeah, so that was Morningside Park, 123rd Street and Morningside. So they had this little box up there, looked like a little castle or whatever. So we played on the rocks. And we had a rope swinging from the tree, so we had a lot of fun on
Tarzan
that
rope.
Yes, the Tarzan rope. So we had a ball on the rope. And another good friend of mine, another best friend, Vivian Grant. That's her name.
Okay.
Vivian Grant. And, it was me, Vivian, and Sheila. So that was the posse.
I think I remember Vivian.
Yes.
She was
Vivian,
dark-skinned, right?
She had a sister named Debbie and a brother named Richie and a brother named Mike.
There you go.
So,
there you go.
Yeah.
Not that it has any significance, but when you mention 430, you always got to mention Keith Sweat.
Oh yeah, well, yeah, Keith Sweat put on talent shows for us. He was with somebody named Larry.
Larry
And
Smalls.
yeah, and I forgot the other. Not Larry Smalls. There was another guy named Larry that he sang with.
Larry is the darker one.
It was like a guy named Larry with a really big afro,
right.
and he started out with him singing.
Exactly.
And they put on shows for us in the Pamelator room.
Well, I think I stand to be corrected. Charlie was the one that Keith Sweat started with, because he was a musician. Larry was Charlie's brother.
Charlie's brother, right? Larry and Charlie, right? Charlie Smalls, Larry Smalls. Yeah. So,
I don't want to put you on the spot, but which building did you like best, 3150 or 430?
I like 430 best because that's where I started out at.
Okay.
And so we had like more close-knit families and stuff like that. Like we had people that would take care of us like they were our parents, because we had a lot of babysitters back then. Even the drug addicts, sorry to say, they was our parents too, because they looked out for us.
Well, we ain't gonna hold nothing. I knew a lot of them from A to
they
Z.
They was good people too.
That's right, because they gave you good advice.
Yes, they did.
And they smacked you upside your head if you got disrespectful.
Oh, yeah.
All right, but I appreciate a lot of them. And if you grew up in Grand Projects or any project, you know for a fact that there was drug dealers, drug addicts. Mm-hmm. Some stayed on it, some died, some got off.
Yes,
exactly.
Yes.
So we on the same page. You know, she stopped me, right? She said, "You from Grand?" And then we started talking. And you know who her sister is? Tell me who your sister is.
Peggy Brown.
That's right, Peggy Brown.
And Bonnie Brown.
And Bonnie Brown. And we mentioned her brother Jay, who I see quite often.
Yeah, so we have Jay, and I have Jay Brown, and then I have two younger brothers, Leon Carey and Kevin Carey. And Kevin is the oldest, Leon is the youngest.
Well, you know, Joyce, I'm glad you stopped me. We up here, she's making money. Always gotta make some money now. She's doing her thing.
That's right. I'm doing my thing over here.
That's right.
Yes, as always.
And that's the generation. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Doing the thing up here on 35th Street. And you know the true black man, PIE, as they know me in the basketball circuit. I can't go nowhere without being known. But I love it. It's all love. It's all respect. What would you like to say? Who would you like to give a shout out to that you haven't seen in Grand Projects while you have the opportunity?
Well, I'm going to give a shout out to everybody in Grand, because some of them I haven't seen in a long time. But I just give a shout out to everybody.
Okay.
Shout out to them all.
Well, it's just to end it on this note, because I know you got to get back to what you're doing, getting that money.
Yes.
Getting that money. My daughter, Vilori, who you know.
Yes.
Zetine, her mother.
Yes.
Tavon, who passed away, that was her brother.
Yes. I'm so sorry.
Thank you. Whether you know it or not, Vilori is now the president of the Tennis Association.
Yes, I know.
Okay, and they're giving Grant Day, which I understand is going to be August 24th and 25th. Will you be there?
I'll try to be there.
We'll be looking for you. We'll keep the light on.
All right.
Joyce, thank you very much. Greg G.
Yeah.
Okay.
He was the first person I ever see bring hip hop out the way it is today. Meaning, he brought hip hop to the back of the 1295 into the basketball court to 125 with 2 turntables. And,
Just for clarification purposes, you said a rucker. Are you talking about Greg Marius?
Greg Marius, who we call Greg G, because he was a part of the group.
See, I didn't know that.
Disco 4.
I knew he was a rapper.
Yeah.
When he did the EBC Entertainers Basketball Classic, which is a spin-off of the Pro Rucker, like
They had 2
98.
different days. Yeah.
Okay. Greg Marius. Okay.
Matter of fact, Greg Marius had the whole week, and the original Rucker, had 1 day. This was during the time when, years ago.
Okay.
Because EBC became more popular.
Right.
But the point is, from the beginning, we're talking about Greg Marius. I interviewed him, years later, and he told me the story how he originally was going to Riverside Church upstairs playing music. They used to bring the turntables there, playing music on the weekends or something like that, and he started bringing these different type of records with the beats, the esoteric sound. And of course, Riverside Church party goers was like, what's this stuff he's playing? It's different. They didn't really have their attention just yet.
Yes.
But the hip hop party goers in my age group, a little bit closer to this still, they really appreciated it. We really appreciated it. And it started growing. Hip hop started growing. DJ Hollywood had already started doing his thing. He was more what we call a disco sound of hip hop at that time. Of course, it's all one today. But at that time, it was different sections of, pertaining to the sound of hip hop. So, like I said, Hollywood was playing that disco sound along with I'll come back to him in a minute. But Greg G was a member of a group called the Disco 4. Mr. Troy, Ronnie G, B Fat, you might be familiar with him because he still promotes artists today. They will be in the places like the Renaissance, the Rennie, short for Rennie, uptown on 39th Street, Harlem World, the Audubon, Randy's place, which was I think later called the Collapse or something like that.
And where was that located?
Right. Randy's place was right next to what's that, Dave's?
The barbershop?
No, I'm talking about the clothing store. What was that clothing store? We still going on 125th Street, on the next block away from AJ Lester. It'll come to me in a minute. But it was a Randy's place. It was a club right there. It's a bingo hall.
Okay.
And they would, turn it into a place to play music and stuff like that. But that was that was the birth of hip hop. Even though hip hop came from the Bronx, as it comes down to Harlem, it starts getting a different. It's continuously growing. It's growing. So in the Bronx, there's a lot of break beats. Cats is on the mic saying one-line rhymes or whatever. They're not deep with their rhymes or whatever. Everything is just strong. They got some lines, of course. But by the time it gets to Harlem, it starts picking up speed. And at the same time, Harlem is always about that dressing.
Right, exactly.
And them cats, as well as dressing, they want to perform better. It's just always about the girls. You gotta be entertainment. So these girls is looking at you wondering, who is that guy? Oh, I like that guy, but he carries himself. So what I'm saying, when Greg brought that music outside into the basketball court, it's like, this sounds good. At the same token, it's the basketball court, so it's what, 6 hoops? The basketball court, all 6 hoops. There's like 30 people on one court. Because everybody want to be outside to this music, and all these girls is watching, and everybody's playing ball, and it's getting wild. And like always, there's always a knucklehead. Want to be seen, pull out the gun, everybody start running. Somebody start a fight or whatever.
I was going to try to wait for the statement off. Before we move on, Greg Marius spoke to me one day when he was really popular with EBC. And I was wondering how he knew me. And we was at Pelham Fritz. We had a 40 and overlay Pelham Fritz. I'm going out the door. And Al Cash, of course, Duke Tangles, that crew. So I'm going out the door, and Greg says to me, and I knew his popularity with starting EBC. He said, hey, what's up, Al? And I was wondering how he knew me. So where did he grow up?
He actually lived across the street from 1285, across the street from the co-op, in that building Going up the block
Going up
of
the hill.
123rd to Command Sandwich Road. He lived there for a little while before he finally moved up to Strivers Road.
Wow.
Yeah, he moved up there to Strivers Road because people had some money.
Well, I'm glad you clarified that because I never knew he was a good dude. And matter of fact, about a year ago, I met his sister.
Right. Good sister.
She was nice. And Wendell Ramsey, who's a legend ball player, he spoke to her about, this is Pi, David Thornton, who does documentaries. And she was in somewhat of agreement to sit down and let me interview her,
Right.
to include Greg and EBC in the documentary. But I'm glad I spoke to you this morning and you bringing them up because I never do. Now, what was the name of their group?
The Disco 4. The Disco 4, and they was one of the original groups in Harlem at that time. It was-
Okay.
Yeah, during that time, when they came up, it was just a little bit before the Fearless 4, but around the same time with the Treacherous 3, the Crash Crew, Master Don, and the Death Committee. That was like different sections of Harlem where a crew represented that area. So we had in Grand Projects the Fearless 4, Convent had the Treacherous 3, on 18th Street, and even the 122nd and Morning South was done Depression. Spoonie G was on the 123rd and 8th Avenue by PAL.
All right. 123rd off 8th Avenue, Tip Center.
Yeah, right next to it.
Right,
Right in
okay.
that block. In fact, that's his uncle was Bobby Robinson. Spoonie G's.
The record store, Bobby?
Yeah, Joy Records.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, Big Nick, and this is one of the reasons why I wanted him to sit down with me, because I'm his grandfather. You know, I got him by a number of years.
Oh, man, you got me by 10 years, baby.
But the fact of the matter is, I come from an era of Roy Ayers.
Right, I know what you're
Grover
talking about.
Washington.
Yeah.
You know, the hip hop thing, I remember when
Even
it
the disco sound. Yeah.
and I didn't even get into that. You know, I went right
Well, there's
to...
still some nice joints that some people don't even realize is disco, because it was a favorite hit, But I understand where you're going, like people, they like get out of here with that hippity hip hop pop skip pop
And
stupid stuff.
it just took off,
Yeah,
you know.
but it just kept growing where one day there's a record playing like The Message and you can see grandmothers reciting the lyrics.
Right.
Because some things just hit the heart, the spirit. And that's how I felt about hip hop, man.
I had a wide parameter when it came to music. You know, I can tell you my best female artist is not Whitney Houston or Patti LaBelle, Diana Ross.
What would you say?
It's Barbara Streisand.
I know, I like Barbara.
I love
like
her.
Barbara.
You know, but I
Beautiful
think
looking young lady with some mean hits.
that's
boy.
right.
Long
And
history
my
of hits.
best is when she did the thing with Barry Gann called "Come Tomorrow." Come tomorrow. In any event, ring my bell, and I love.
Need a Ward.
Okay, but I love out of all of them, I love Rakim. Rakim, the rap.
Oh, Rakim.
Eric B. Rakim.
Eric B. and Rakim.
And
Legendary rapper too. Yeah.
The fat boy from Mount Vernon. The fat boy.
Heavy D.
Heavy D. That was my
God
boy.
bless his soul. Yeah.
And I always loved Will Smith, even though he wasn't big. But he didn't use the profanity and all that.
I understand.
Okay, but
I got they likes.
but you talking hardcore.
Yeah. This is before Rapper's Delight. So even when Rapper's Delight came out, you might have appreciated other people, but cats that was really in the block, listening to hip hop, like, where's these cornballs coming from? Of course, it became a hit as time went by, but the original cats that was loving hip hop in the early days, it's like, this can't touch the stuff that we grew up. You go get a Cold Crush tape going against Fantastic Five or Treacherous 3's second anniversary. And they doing their records, but they also doing routines and Kumo D spitting lyrics, like how Eminem talks today. It's like Eminem talks when he's rhyming, which is a good thing, which means he has great dictation and vocabulary as he's saying his rhymes. But Mo was like that too.
And
Mo was the original.
He came off the hill. That's right.
He came off the hill. We still got stuff that plays in my head to this day. But I said, growing up in Harlem, man, that was a beautiful thing to have. Like some people, when they going through issues and problems, they go to their best thing that helps them get through the day. You know, whether watching a movie,
Right.
go shopping, you know, running up their credit cards,
That's something.
drinking or whatever. I went to hip hop.
Growing up in Grand was amazing. I'm from 1315 Amsterdam, Reginald Hobby. The Hobby family, oh my God, we played barrels with the barrels. We played on the monkey bars. We played Scully. We played catch one, catch all. We played hot peas and butter.
There you go.
We enjoyed each other.
That's
in
right.
Grand.
It was
We
love.
never had a problem. Our mothers and parents and fathers, they were sitting in the front yard with us. We were a social people. We are a social people. But Grand houses growing up Grand was amazing. And if you wasn't there in the 70s, the 60s, 70s, and the 80s, some of the 80s,
That's right.
it was great.
Did you go up at 125?
I went to PS 125. I went to junior high school 43.
That's right. That's right.
right here in our neighborhood. My high school is Kennedy, that's in the Bronx.
Okay.
But right here, this is where I grew up at. Before this school even existed.
That's
Before
right.
PS 36.
That's what I was going to ask you. When they was building this school, did you ever swing on the Tarzan rope?
Oh yeah, I swang on the Tarzan rope. We actually jumped from the top of the ceiling to the garage. We jumped from there to the bottom, just playing as kids. I remember this place here at Morningside Park, we called it the Mountain.
That's right.
Because we were so little, and we used to, in the winter, we would take cardboard boxes, rip them up, and slide down them in the snow.
And you know what? We on the same page. Big Nick, Troy Smith, when they was building 36, they used to slide down when it snowed in front of there, the Tarzan rope, going in the castle, Witch's Castle.
Yeah, the Witch's Castle, which is right over here. It was a little hole.
That's right.
And it was a little hole that you could crawl into, and there was an empty space, and believe me, there was somebody in there one time.
Hey man, let me tell you, man, after school, I used to go in there, rip my pants up. I go home, my mother say, boy, where you been? Hey Reg, just give me a little bit when you're an adult and you go into the music world, the hip hop thing, LL Cool J, you go for all of them. Let it go, baby.
I grew up in Harlem, and I'm gonna tell you, I started out with steel drums right here in Grand Community Center. In 1983, we formed Fantasy 3, which was a group. LL Cool J came down, he was trying to get signed, and he saw me, Silver Fox, which is my AKA, you know what I mean? And we hung out for the whole summer because I'm very poetic, and we started, he was 16 years old, so he wanted to learn some poetry, haiku, sonnets, cadences, how to breathe, how to do, so it's something that I taught him, and he always says it to this day, and it's something I did with Cool G Rap also, which is, consider me like a mentor. So I'm not gonna rub my own horn, but they said it, so I'm gonna say it. and it was great, you know what I mean? And just watching his career come up, and knowing that he did everything that I wanted him to do and that he should do, with proper management, proper distribution, proper promotion. So now L is great, the GOAT, and I'm the GOAT's GOAT.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, before I let you go,
Yes, sir.
Silver Fox, before I let you go, I know you had some association with Greg Marius, Greg G, the Disco 4 up here in the hill.
Yeah, there's also the Fearless 4.
The
Fearless 4 with Tito, Mike C, Peso, you know what I mean, all of them, Master OC. See, we all neighbors. We got the Treacherous 3 up the block on Carlin Avenue. We got the Fearless 4 right here. We got the Crash Crew on the east side.
Eddie, Morningside.
There's also Disco P from St. Nicholas Project. Disco P, Pinelio and Disco P. There were so many crews out here in the beginning of hip hop. You know what I mean? And these are the guys that I learned from.
Yes, sir.
Which, the Crash Crew, I give them their props, even though they bit my record in '83, but it's alright. And, because I listen to their music. It's the Treacherous 3 with the poetic structures and LA Sunshine and Mo D and Special K, and those are my people.
Troy L. Smith, Big Nick, he gave me the full line. Who I was trying to remember was my man over there, Dougie Fresh.
Dougie Fresh is from right on 26.
I know.
And Troy L. Smith, I've got to thank him for documenting because he has the old school. He has an old school pace that he had. I forgot the name of it because it's been a long time. But Troy L. Smith. You gotta remember this brother because he documents hip hop and he does it here for Grant and for everybody in Harlem because he has archives and tapes and everything like that.
And just to end it on this note, you know who I am. This is Dave Thornton, the True Black Man, the True Black Man Productions. But as he said just now, the Silver Fox, I just want to let you know, Silver Fox, that I chose Troy L. Smith to sit down and be the narrator of this documentary called Growing Up Harlem, Living in General Grant Houses. Thank you for your time, brother.
You're welcome. I salute Troy L. Smith, salute to Grant, salute to you.
My brother. Peace.
As I make my way back to 125th Street, I see the sadness of the buildings. And the murals continue to write the story of what's happening in these streets. Activists like Malcolm X and Yuri Kochiyama make up the voice of this mural. Harlem has experienced two major riots dating back to 1943. An off-duty police officer murdered an African-American teenager, which erupted into 6 nights of rioting across New York City. Moments that continue to plague American history and are the pictures painted by Malcolm so many decades ago. In these historic streets, we've heard the whispers of Harlem's change and leaders that fought for inclusion, like this statue of Adam Clayton Powell, the first African American elected to Congress. As a lone voice, Powell became the symbol for a nation, challenging laws that segregated African Americans, later becoming Title IV of the Civil Rights Act. The Harlem Renaissance was an awakening for African Americans across the country, and it filled them with pride and empowerment after centuries of being suppressed. It was an early ignition that sparked the Civil Rights Movement. Let's step into modern Harlem and one of its most symbolic streets, 125th Street, the de facto main street of the neighborhood. It contains the historic Apollo Theater. This is Scrivers Row, considered some of the greatest architectural stylings of New York City from the 19th century. Scrivers Row was built for the wealthier residents of Harlem. David King Jr., who also developed the base of the Statue of Liberty, wanted to create an upper middle class neighborhood, independent of outside influences. Some of the issues David faced came in the form of empty homes. The nation experienced an economic